Judge,
Yes.
my client has been habitualized and I'm not.
No, we're gonna miss you.
Well, I will miss you.
Well, you should see if they're going to keep it as such. Maybe they'll. Oh, they may say, "Oh no, we're waiving that or something."
I'll ask them to raise it up for you.
We found the perfect book for you, Norma.
Norma, do not read that book. They've already said, "Whoa."
It's mucho más rose colored. Oh.
Yeah, don't read it.
I just saw reviews. It's gross. It's not scary. It's disgusting.
The Sean News reports say there's supposed to be a second round of COVID. When people start coughing, people are going to start giving people the side eye. And do you know people are still trying to crowd 30 or 40 people in the elevator? I always have to step out. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's too crowded.
Literally. Oh. You haven't come close.
Deputy Laura, I will be reading the inmate.
I'm still thinking about the advantages, so bad.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you're letting me borrow your book. Mine was destroyed.
Really good.
I guess I shouldn't say destroyed, but in all of the things that happen, it's missing. But I think it's been destroyed. And Dinah, I'm going to make those announcements. We're going to see if people are going to follow through on not speaking behind you. You think now?
It was a wonderful candidate. No, oh no.
They act as though you don't need to hear. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not on the record.
Is that put it there? No,
I don't think people realize.
Wait a minute. I'll wait. I was gonna tell you about that book. Oh. The 100% match.
Yeah, let's not even, I've washed my brain of that book.
Don't you have to say it 3 times to different people before it gets out of your mind?
Oh, no, I did. You 3. So once y'all introduced it to me, I introduced it back to you. So now it's no longer on my brain. I'm telling you that works. If you tell 3 people, you can wash it from the brain.
Reintroduce it to me. It's like,
You might be suffering from dementia.
yeah, it's always
All right, everyone, it is 9 o'clock. I'm going to call the docket. When I call the docket, you need to stand and let me know you are here. So when I call the docket, you need to stand and let me know you are here. Otherwise, I'm going to assume you're not, and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. In custody, we have Joshua Espinosa, Aiden Reyes Garcia, Aiden Reyes Garcia, Tristan Inosa. He's by Zoom. Christopher Gonzalez. Christopher Gonzalez. All right, Deputy Lord, when these people appear, put them in the box. Andrew Arnett. Andrew Arnett. Do I have the right docket?
Today's the 8th, right?
Mhm. Yep.
You sure did?
Randy Lee Elizondo. Thank you. Jose Luis Barrera. Jose Luis Barrera. Mark Anthony Costa. In custody is Sammy DeLuna, Robert Caroline, Renee Presidio, Rodney Deutsch, Christian Bardales. Yes, he is. Abel Martinez, custody. Anthony Woodard. Anthony Woodard. Jared Pina. Thank you. Camillus Galvan. Marie Fuller.
First row.
Britney Chapman. Britney Chapman. Ernest Fernandez. Denise Thomas. Sebastian Delgado. Sebastian Delgado. Hoel Castillo. All right, in custody, Joshua Espinosa, Roberto Andrade, Justin Montemayor, Shasta Elg, Ralph Delgado, Amber Lopez, Dylan Parker, Matthew Castro.
Council President Judge, I spoke to him this weekend and I'll step out of call.
All right. Is there anyone whose name was not called or you came in late? What's your name? Why are you late?
Elevators broken out.
All right. All right, when the elevators are broken, we have to take the stairs. Anyone else who came in late or your name was not called? All right, attorneys, these are the rules of the court. Listen carefully to these rules. Do not break these rules. Number one, and I want you all to hear me clearly. To my left is the court reporter. The court reporter is very important. The court reporter takes down everything that is being said. Do not, I repeat, do not talk behind her when we're on the record. How do we know we're on the record? Because I call the style of the case. Do not talk behind her when we're on the record. Do not lean on her desk. Do not touch her equipment. That equipment is over $10,000. To my right, in the beautiful green this morning, she and I got the memo. The other people in the court didn't get the memo to wear green, is the CLO. Do not hover around her. Do not turn your back to her. If you have a client who's on probation, yes, you need to confer with the probation officer. If you have a client who's in custody, yes, they need to be brought out. Once you request your client is brought out, do not leave the courtroom because there are a limited number of people who can be out in the box for security reasons. Attorneys, you know that door is where the inmates come from. Do not block that area. Before approaching the court, you need to have conferred with your client, conferred with the state. Once you have done that, approach the coordinator. She will pull the file. Once she pulls the file, have a seat. I will call you in the order of appearance. If you have a client who wishes to speak in a language other than English, yes, we need an interpreter. So when you approach, let them know that you need an interpreter. Call down. Once an interpreter is requested, Do not leave the courtroom because there's a limited number of interpreters. Another important rule, when we are on the record, do not approach the court coordinator or the clerk talking because, again, court reporter can't hear well when you do that, and I won't be able to hear. So do not do that. If anyone breaks these rules, I will call you out by name. The other thing, we have a new prosecutor in here who has not introduced himself. I don't know his name anymore. He's been missing for a month.
Speech. My name is Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Welcome back, Zach.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, everyone. Yeah. All right, everyone. Today is Monday. I know the weather is not as beautiful as it could be, but in a way it is beautiful because we're all currently alive. So everyone, please confer with a smile on your face and kindness on your heart. We will get through this day. And my understanding, there is a second or third wave of COVID coming in. There are a lot of people who have been missing from court because they have COVID, pneumonia, or the flu. So everyone, please be careful and confer.
May I approach your honor?
Yes. Hi. Hey. Well, I can't say I'm
I'd make
sorry.
a special appearance, okay?
I can't say I'm sorry.
It was a good game.
It was.
Thank God your big boy stayed out.
Yeah. Well, hopefully our defense will be better next year, so we shall see.
No, both teams were all baloney. Half our team was on them.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but anyways, it was a good game.
No, it was. Hey, I love your purple today.
I have Carolyn. Did he show up?
Who?
Is he in jail?
What's-
Carolyn?
Check with Miss Ferguson. I don't know.
Good luck to you.
Okay. I didn't come here just to get yelled at by you. I have a client. Did my guy show up? Carolyn? Is it
Yes, in
Carolyn?
custody downstairs.
Oh, he's gotta show up.
Oh, there you go. Only way if they forgot him, right?
Thanks for keeping him in between bites of a bologna sandwich. Can you bring him up?
How's it going?
Just checking.
He got it. I got some Brady on the 20th.
But
She said it was an accident.
It's about here, like that green one is like, I have it. This tries to give me a hint, drink more water.
I think he has to. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate it, sir.
Are there any documents for me to sign? All right, thank you. I received some
So how's your daughter doing?
pretrial services reports. Where are they?
In between riding horses? Do you let her go
Yes,
to-
their email.
Is it just-
Okay.
Okay, well,
Oh, all right, thank you.
So then she'll qualify for A&L later.
Although if it's coming up.
She's not going to school now.
Okay.
I want some of your coaches' money. Hey.
Let's see. No, I think that, let's see. This is, it was an accident. She has.
Okay.
Yeah. This is beautiful.
You leave them alone.
Here's what I should. He tried to- Frame pregnancy. She got nervous. And she said, "What do you do?" Police.
So how can you work? I'm sure you've been there over the holidays. I can see your grandbaby. I got. Oh, they can.
thing is, like, as opposed to like the defender, like, aim, be like, hey, I'm a prosecutor or whatever. This goes directly to the most and stuff, right? Like, I wouldn't have my own, so. Legal. Oh, no. I don't care about it.
This way.
Oh, he's okay. I didn't have a link. Oh, he had, it. Okay, he was waiting for me. I'll confirm and see what the court is now. I'll confirm. I don't see Hank. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. Should be able to-
Caroline? Caroline? Okay, now move over. I'm over there.
Yeah, yeah, she's in the box.
I do, so, yeah.
I did.
I have, I was so sick all last week. I was
Good
just
morning,
like,
Judge.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Great. So you've been just out of pocket.
Yes, it was a little rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got back from the valley and we were driving back and sometimes like you're in a moment, but you don't realize it.
Mhm.
I was like, like driving, like huddled over the steering wheel and I was like, what am I doing? I was
Mhm.
like, something is not right.
Mhm.
And then that night, it just like took off and I was like, it was rough, but I feel way better now. My parents look, it's good to be back home because my mom was like, I'll be right over. Like the grown man, I was like, okay, mom,
Hey,
thanks.
my mom, yeah.
Please come help.
You know what my mom always tell people? She says, if any of her children need her, like if I need her, she said she's not going to take a plane or drive because she believes she can get here quicker if she ran. That's how parents are.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very special. So they looked out for me and now we're back on the main change.
Okay, I'm so glad you're doing better.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it.
I thought you had disappeared on us. I thought something had happened with the time continuum. We were going to have to find you.
I have some good stories for you later, Judge.
Okay.
Aside from the place to stand.
We are the nicest.
Who's here on Shasta Elg?
Yes.
Hi, how are you doing? Hi, just come on down, please.
Right in the middle now.
Good morning. So we did bring you back on Monday.
That's good.
All right, so the state has dismissed your case.
Okay.
All right,
great.
so this is what I'm going to tell you.
Yes,
I don't know what happened, what was going on, but if there is some sort of issue,
Mhm.
communication issue, you need to communicate better. If there are some mental health issues, that needs to be taken care of, because otherwise you may find yourself right back here again, okay?
yeah, no, it was a misunderstanding of how my dad speaks English.
Ah.
So that's why they thought that he said my daughter hit me,
Mhm.
and he has blood thinner. He
Mhm.
takes blood thinner.
Mhm.
And so he has a couple stems in his heart. So I was handing him a frame, and accidentally it like touched him. And when you touch him like a little bit hard, he turns purple.
Okay.
So that's what happened.
Oh, okay. And what language?
Arabic?
Ah,
Yeah.
I only know a few Arabic words.
Yeah. Shukran means thank you.
Oh,
Shukran.
say it again.
Shukran?
Shukran.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
All
All
right.
right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just have a seat.
Okay.
All right. So you should be released sometime later.
Okay.
It's probably going to be 1 a.m. I don't know why it will be 1 a.m.,
Okay.
but you'll be released.
Okay.
All right. You're welcome.
Sure. Have a good day. We'll see you.
And Jerry, maybe if you want to call the jail to make sure they release her at a decent time to see if they can.
I'll try to get that.
Okay.
Today, I have one.
And Jerry, if there's an issue and you need me to call over, I'll see if I can call and make sure that she's released, not at midnight.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes. Who's? Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I need to announce in the 290th, and I also need to confer with Mr. Wilkins, but I maybe check back in about 10 minutes to confer.
Okay.
Thank you. My client is on Zoom. I understand.
Yes,
Thank you.
sure.
Chapman is. Yeah. There's the juror there.
Yeah.
There's the violation.
What's that?
I think the basics is. She put it in the basics.
Wow.
On the driveway. They get back to
I mean,
it.
to help the client.
And then she had
This is
a
what
violation.
It'll go down.
I feel sorry for the. Well, yes, you kind of hurt the kid, but then I guess the kid wants to.
I hear you there.
They're like, where's, she just wants to leave.
Ah.
Well, it's not good. That's probably.
I would do that.
Same this.
Miss Delgado?
Wait, I'm sorry.
Let me, I'll let you. So let me see how.
And Jerry, her father is here. Who's the father for Elgare?
Yeah. Let's go.
Jerry, that's him in the back. Yes, but he speaks Arabic. He's in the puffy jacket.
You say this is deferred, Jason?
I said no.
Did you need it? Did you need it? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, at least he had an excuse if there wasn't a scam.
I think you know that.
I've never heard of Aiden stands for like, that's next.
Yeah.
That's good. Yes. And thanks for waiting for me when my office. It might be almost the first because.
It is, we never at the same time.
She's on. It's in this 2 years.
I remember something, yeah, that's right.
So anyway, like I said.
Okay, absolutely. I'm gonna write it down.
Five over five.
The 2 years for.
Kind of high for these things.
Well, that's because.
Oh, okay, well, that's understandable. Was it the same day?
Same time.
Okay.
Just had a pack. I'm at it 12. What at it 12? You never understand what it is.
Hi.
Or confusing. We're confusing. Are you gonna say?
First row?
You're right. No affirmative finding. So that's that. I'll do these very quickly.
Caroline?
And now he can sit on it. Who is it?
She's like obsessed with the cat, so this is exactly the scary.
Have a seat on the first row, sir, Mr. Gonzalez, just wait.
Yes.
Thank you.
Steve really wants to.
All right, Norma, this is a bond case that I'm supposed to hear.
Your client's out there.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, who's here on Roberto Andrade?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Not done for the state, Your Honor.
They're in the same.
Sure.
They're in the same.
Judge, before we get started, Judge,
Mhm.
we were originally set for a motion to reduce his bond on the family law case. But he has filed motions to dismiss me as counsel on his cases.
All right,
So I
are
thought-
you retained or appointed?
Appointed.
All right. So, Mr. Andrade, are you hiring an attorney?
Well, if I get out, I will.
I'm sorry, what?
If I get out, I will.
All right, so we're at the point now where this is your attorney. You understand? All right, and I don't know if I've explained this to you before, but if I have, then I'm going to explain it to you again. And I want you to internalize what I'm saying, all right? So this is me coming from my background in the legal field. I've been a defense attorney, I've been a prosecutor. And when I would have clients, and I was a defense attorney for well over 20 years, when I would have clients that I was appointed to their cases, sometimes they would get upset with me. And you know what they would get upset about? They would say, well, I want you to come see me at the jail every day. And I would tell them, look, you have a choice. I can see you at the jail every single day and not work on your case, or I can see you the way I've been seeing you, which I would always see my clients on a Saturday or Sunday. And I would see them once a week or sometimes once every 2 weeks to let them know nothing's happening with your case. I want to let you know that I still know that you're here, right? I would go to the state after reviewing the file, after talking to my client. Of course, I would always ask the state to dismiss the case, and the state would sometimes say, I'm not dismissing this case. Okay, what offer are you willing to make? and the state would make an offer. I would go to my client, I would say, this is the offer that the state has made. Then sometimes my client would get upset and say, you're doing a horrible job as my attorney. This offer is horrible. And I would tell them, look, I can't force the state to make you an offer that you want. But if there is an offer you would like me to take back to them, I will. That's called a counter offer. Sometimes I would take that offer back to them and the state would say, we're not doing this. The only thing we're doing is the offer that we've given you, right? And so sometimes my client would get angry with me and say, it's your fault that my case is not getting dismissed. It's your fault that I've been made this offer. And really, it's not. You can be upset by the offer, but your attorney can only present to you the offer that the state has made. The state can make an offer. You can think that offer is ridiculous. You can say it's ridiculous. Although I don't like when people do that because then communication breaks down. You know, it's a simple yes or no. No, I'm not accepting this offer. What I can tell you is when attorneys are on the wheel to come up for appointments, if they are not deemed qualified to handle certain cases, they will not be appointed to that case. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So when the state makes an offer, here's your choice. You can accept the offer or you can reject it and say, I'm not accepting anything. Or you can reject it and say, hey, defense attorney, I'm rejecting this offer, but this is what I'm willing to take. Then the defense will go back to the state and say, hey, he's rejecting this offer, but this is what he's willing to take. And then if the state says, no, we're sticking with our same offer, your counsel will come back to you and say, state's not changing their offers. This is it. Then guess what? You go to trial. I don't know why, as defense attorneys and as prosecutors, sometimes when people get in trouble with the law, they blame their counsel for it. You don't ever see anyone normally blaming a doctor. If they have a heart attack, they don't say, go to the doctor and say, it's your fault I had a heart attack. You need to correct this. Or if I have cancer, it's your fault I have cancer. You need to correct this. But what I've discovered in this profession, clients sometimes blame their counsel for the fact that their case has been dismissed, for the fact that they're in jail, when really it's not the counsel's fault. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm not giving you another attorney. If you want to hire an attorney, you can. And if you want to hire an attorney, then, okay, this bond motion is not going to be heard today. What's going to end up happening is I'll reset you. When are you going to have an attorney?
Well, you say I can, well, I just did.
No, I mean, there's no, I guess I'll stick with him. If you want another attorney, then you have to retain one.
I'll stick with him.
Judge, just to be transparent, Judge, he's indicted as a habitual on his cases, so that would make it a first degree. And I only take second degrees.
Oh, well, you should start with that conversation. But I tell you what, this is what we'll do. We'll see if there's some sort of an agreement where this is not a first degree. If there is not that agreement, then we'll go from there. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Ralph Delgado. All right, they're going to approach back on this in a minute. Hello, Mr. Delgado.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. We brought you back.
Yay.
Okay. Are you all ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Who's the prosecutor on Ralph Delgado? All right. We're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2022 CR 2672, State of Texas versus Ralph Emmanuel Delgado. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense?
Jerry Valdez Jr. for Mr. Delgado.
Are you Ralph Emmanuel Delgado?
Oh,
All right, I'm going to need you to speak up, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, everyone, please whisper. Are you the same Ralph Emmanuel Delgado who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 2672 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram, on April 20, 2022 for a term of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 4 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Ralph Emmanuel Delgado, then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of December 2022, June and July 2023, in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Your Honor, state waives all the violations.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Delgado, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 1 year in the state jail facility?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, and we have discussed it with probation. It's to deny the motion and alter and amend for access services and ISP.
That is your agreement, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Delgado, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Ralph E. Delgado.
All right, Mr. Delgado, why have you not been reporting what's going on?
Well, actually, I did report, but when I reported, because they had me signed in the day that I had left, my appointment was at 11, and my probation officer, he came out about 11:15, and I saw him, and he called a name, and I thought it was me, so I started getting up to go over there, and then he told me to sit back down. So I sat back down, and I sat there till like 12:15, 12:30, something.
All right, so you're saying this has happened each month because you have not reported for more than 1 month. And you haven't been, although they're not considering it, and I'm not going to take it in consideration, but it also says in the motion to revoke, you have not been submitting to drug testing. Here's the thing. Both of them, the state and defense, have come to an agreement to continue you. Probation obviously wants to continue to work with you. But if you're not going to be honest, and if you just want to go to the state jail facility, I'll just send you to the state jail facility and you can get help on your own. But if there's something going on in your world that is making you unsuccessful at this probation, you need to let the court know. Because there are other people that we can place in ISF. It's not unlimited. You know, we don't have unlimited space in ISF. We don't have unlimited space for people to get help with their drug issues. So if you just want to do your time, you can do your time and be done.
I'll take the probation.
All right. So why are you not being successful at probation? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
The one time I didn't go on the day that he wanted me to, it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and he wanted me to go from the probation officer on 90 to downtown, and I didn't get there till 4:30, and then they already quit the testing. So, but I did go the next day, but I didn't get there the day that he assigned me to.
Okay. All right. And so with regards to potential mental health, how are we going to work with that probation?
Access services, the outpatient treatment with the Center for Healthcare Services that provides case management for all mental health services.
All right. How long?
Whether or not you have insurance.
All right. Let me ask you this. How long will it take for them to set him up with that?
To be completely honest, I don't have a time frame. We have to send over the referral. This is something new that's been brought to our attention. But my understanding is it's been great success.
All right. So then this is what we will do then. I don't think, oh, and you sent the email. Thank you so much, Bashan. All right. So then this is what I want to do. I'm going to deny the motion. Alternate amend conditions to include access services through CHCS. And instead of going to state ISF, I'm going to do a jail sanction for him. And we can set up the access. Can we do that?
We didn't ask for state ISF. We asked for the ISP program, which is
Okay.
high risk. so that we can check on him
How often will you be checking on him with that?
at least 1 to 2 times a month.
All right,
He'll check in more often and we'll go to his home more often.
all right. So how does everybody feel about a 2-week Bear County jail sanction so that we can get the access services set up?
State's fine with it.
Probation?
2 more weeks in jail, you mean?
Yes.
Before I can be released?
Because do you have a place to stay?
Yes.
Who are you staying with?
I had just bought me a travel trailer.
I'm sorry, what?
I had just purchased a travel trailer for a home and I set it up on a lot on 15891 Hensley Road.
Okay, what did he say?
He said he just purchased a travel trailer and set it up. I didn't get the address.
15891 Hensley Road.
All right.
Your Honor, I do not know that the access program will do his evaluation.
They will not?
I don't think.
All right, so I'll deny the motion, alternate amend conditions to include access service through Center for Healthcare Services and then do ISP. And you're to provide today probation your address. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, is there anything else from either side?
Nothing further, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Counsel?
Judge,
Yes.
I conferred with the state judge. At this point, they're not willing to waive the enhancements because he's got 3 other cases that are going to be filed as well.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
May I be excused, Judge?
Yes, you may be excused. Morning.
Bardales?
Thanks.
Being into
Yeah, so that was. That was. Because that's
Okay. All right, I'm gonna think on that. Norma? Norma, on that one, see if Seeloff is. Okay. All right, now John Kuntz is the other guy. John Kuntz will be the other guy.
And then we should. Oh, I'm sorry, do I have to have a probation? Where's your forms? Probation and appeals on the wall? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So under that, case number. I just said, I want to case number for.
Oh, Norma? On Philliesville. Philliesville, put it here.
What?
No. It'll be Schultz. He's doing Philliesville. Oh, that's okay. So, Michael DeLeon will do Philliesville. Randy Elizondo. And then you said Kuntz is coming back, correct? All right, I'll text him. All right. We are here on discovery.
Kind of, Judge, it's, may I explain here?
Sure.
Mr. Alzando has multiple cases. One of the cases he does have is a drug case,
Mhm.
4,200 grams. Conferring with Mr. Graham this morning, it's an unindicted case. Those drug test results are back. So we would like at least additional time for those results to get back. And then we'll try to work everything out at once we have those results back.
All right, how long are you expecting for the lab results?
Judge, I mean, that's one thing of the issue because it's apparently group 2. But there's also another unindicted case that's the same charge as the current indicted case, separate instances though. The drug case, it may I would ask for another 30 days.
I think that could be fine, Judge.
In all honesty, to tell the court, I don't think it'll be back by then, but we can probably have that other case indicted by then. Because I read it and it looks like a good case. I talked to the prosecutor, I'll send them an email to do that. And then I can possibly work it out from there.
All right. All right, Ms. Ferguson. On Randy Elizondo, can you give me a 45-day reset, please?
For discovery, correct?
Yes.
The 29th of February.
All right, February 29th.
That'd be fine with me.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Joe.
Ernest Fernandez.
This is also a discovery issue, Judge.
Okay.
last court hearing, we were here, the court signed a,
Light discovery.
yes, blood discovery. In talking to Mr. Wilson this morning, apparently he got a letter back from the lab at the end of February that it would be about 60 days. And so we're probably, same thing, maybe the 29th would be a good day also.
Yes, ma'am. At the end of November, they said a month or two, 30 to 60 days. So I think the end of November, we might have that back, Judge. I emailed them today to say, hey, is this still pending? And I haven't heard back from them yet, but if their timeline is right, we should have that back by the end of this month.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, Ernest Fernandez, if you'll call that batch for February 29th.
Thank you.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Anna. Have a good day.
You too.
And don't get me into the mid-March. Costa Rica.
Ah, you have to send me a stamp or postcard from there. All right, Christopher Gonzalez.
Yeah. Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
This is Mr. Gonzalez.
All right, so who is the prosecutor? This is family violence.
It is family.
Yes.
Morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year. All right, so this is jury trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
So Norma, is family violence up this week?
And Judge, Anna Ochoa is currently not in today, but we have a discovery issue that's been going on. It's very relevant to the case, and we're working on that.
What's the discovery issue?
Apparently, the complainant had made an allegation of sexual assault regarding a different person several weeks before this allegation, and we're looking into that matter, or at least the state's trying to find out more details about that. We think it's highly relevant.
State?
Your Honor, I believe counsel spoke with my counterpart, and Ally's going to look into that today as soon as we're done here. I don't have an estimated time to run it, but maybe by the end of the week should be sufficient if I understand counsel and Ally's discussion.
It's about right, Judge.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson. Put this on the jury trial for the 16th.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome.
Mike, I'll keep you posted.
January 16th or February 16th?
January 16th.
Okay.
All right. You're welcome. So once you sign the reset form, you're excused. And thank you for dressing up. You always dress appropriately for court.
All my clients look good, don't they?
Yeah.
That's right. Have a seat.
And Mr. DeLeon, on this case, I know it's a first degree. If you would like a second chair appointed, you're more than welcome to have a second chair.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
May can pick that up.
And counsel, your client was late this morning. But they tell me the elevator was broken.
It's true.
I guess people cannot take stairs anymore.
County won't provide better equipment.
Of course they will not.
You should blame the sheriff.
Hate to say that, but if my friend, I can go upstairs and leave anybody. I'm trying to.
Oh.
Much like I can fall out of a plane.
We can extend
It's
for
in the
you.
air, that's the hard part.
We can extend. Then if he needs to get off early, I'll let him.
Gentlemen, because I'm gonna VCR, docket, and I need to.
Robert Caroline?
Ready, Your Honor? This is a plate.
Sure.
Caroline?
Do I need my client here or does it matter? Speak up so the court reporter can take every word, cannot take a.
Okay.
Verbal.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yes. I'll be back.
Court is calling 2023 CR 10711, State of Texas versus Robert Edmund Caroline. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
defense?
James Seeloff for the defense.
And are you Mr. Caroline?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Caroline?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Caroline, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Off the record for a moment, if you can move to that end, but there's no talking behind the court reporter when we're on the record. We're back on the record. Mr. Caroline, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, you're proceeding on 1 and 2, Your Honor.
Right.
That's the two officers. That's what one is.
All right, Mr. Caroline, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did
Yes.
you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am. I do believe so. Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you understand in count 1 and in count 2, you're charged with assault on a peace officer or judge bodily injury? That's a second-degree felony in each count. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years and up to a $10,000 fine in each count. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you and your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I believe he was.
Mr. Caroline, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, they haven't, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, they haven't.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Okay.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count 1 and count 2. Punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison in each count. There's a $1,500 fine. Is that to be in each count?
Yes.
And also the state is recommending community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
That's our plea.
State, is that the plea? Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, there is not.
Outside the plea, the state is requesting that your community supervision.
It was $200, sir. Is what you were going to request.
That your community supervision be for a term of 5 years, there be a TAP evaluation and 200 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to count 1, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence.
Your Honor, state exhibit number 1 with all its attachments.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
You may continue to confirm. Showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
No objection.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty of count 1. Court will find you guilty of count 1. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty of count 2, and the court will find you guilty of count 2. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor. We waive PSI.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, it's court appointed, so I asked the court to take that into consideration of assessing fine and the amount of community service. Do you have a place to stay once you get released, if you are released on probation?
The VA hospital was what I was.
You were gonna go to the VA hospital?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
That's
That's where I was hoping to go.
He's a retired veteran, Your Honor.
Okay.
No, I was honorably discharged for.
After 4 years, you were
Yes.
honorably discharged.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He served honorably overseas in the late 80s.
88, I was a Persian Gulf veteran. I was in MEGTAF 388, MUSOC Marine Expeditionary Unit Special Operations Capabilities. We were a rated force in the Persian Gulf in that period of time.
He was a Marine.
In the
Okay.
Marine Corps.
All right, well, let's do this. Before I make a ruling on sentencing, Bashan, can you see if Herman can come down? Let's see if someone from Veterans Treatment Court can come down, because I want to make sure that he has housing in place. So if y'all will just wait a moment, we'll call someone from Veterans Treatment Court to speak with you, and then I'll make a ruling on on your sentence.
How long will it take? I got another court. I'm doing a plea.
Oh, just, it'll probably take 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Where are you going to be?
The 144th.
All right, if you want to go ahead and go to the 144th, how long do you anticipate that taking?
It's going to be a plea, however, wherever I am at.
All right, so if you
I'll be
can,
back in a half hour.
all right, so if you can see if he can come here by 10:30? 10:30? All right,
Thank
and
you.
we'll make a ruling.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah, okay, so I've got two over here. So let me know. Is that my motive? Cannot read that, I'm sorry. No. I see burden of application. That should be. Three others have larger versus are credible here. This is like, are you able to tell on the burden that violation technical authority house? What did you say? Is it the same? Well, tell them that it's really the correct way. Yes, only that. I had a friend in Los Holland. All right. Yeah, I can look up the GM. That's all right. I didn't say anything. I never had to see them. We'll find out. Yeah, what? I put it in flag. Yeah. Once before about all the things. Yeah. Gonna meet you again. And then, I came in here a couple of times last week. Yeah. God. Yeah, so just, I'm just trying to. It's not a case. All right, I got it. Michael Anthony. So, I have a motion. So I can't compare the entire college. Yeah. You can have a couple of last week. So it's on the Michael, all that stuff. Something. And then. So I just shows that. Well, not really, but.
I don't know how to stay for this case. I don't know how to use this. No, you should take it back there.
Yeah. I think I'll check it out.
All right, Norm, is the interpreter here for this? Okay. Yes. Andrew? Yes.
Want to correct a mistaken impression that we had on Friday. My client was declared competent. We had an issue with, you setting the bond. I got that. So I'm here today to make sure we're on the same page with this. So.
All right, everyone, please whisper.
The idea was she was supposed to continue her medication. This email from Christopher Wallace was her treating doctor while she was in custody at the Bexar County Jail. What he had done was given her an injection. It's called an what do you call it? LAI. He is med compliant.
Okay.
For the LAI. He gave an injection. I forgot about that.
Okay.
So what we did was, and I want to make sure this is, she got the authorization. So they're working on that. She went to the Center for Healthcare Services on Friday, like you instructed. And they said, no, she's good. She doesn't need medication.
Okay.
Which she does, but that's covered by the thing. So you brought us back on the 18th, which we can be here on the 18th. I just want to let you know that the file reflects she's not med compliant. She actually is med compliant. She needs to work on that continuously for the future, but she is med compliant. So I want to correct a mistaken impression I left. That's fine.
Okay.
That is
all right. Okay, thank you.
Make sure we're good there.
All right.
Awesome. It's continuing to. Yeah.
I'll talk more about this.
Yeah. Let me know if anything. I will look at it. You can tell us my first day back. Right? That's nice. So. It's been so I did and learned a lot, cut my teeth. So and I'm just as a skill. Learned a lot. Oh, I was trying to prove myself. Yes, I'm. It does. It does.
Yes, I saw his.
Oh, okay. It's the thing, but they sent units back. He's trying to, right? Cool, yeah, no, okay, let's go. That's really good. Hey, I know you've been talking about. Yes. Okay. At least for the bird tags. Yes. They don't believe that. Internal things. No, that's what you know what I mean. It's testimony.
Ernest.
And obviously.
First row.
More adoption. Yeah. Right. So. Yeah. So I don't know. So I 3 days versus forward. Yeah, July 31st. Okay, that is reference to those reports. Those July 24th. Is that right? Those are the dates that they tried to see. Yes. 7 years after.
Just join us.
If it's not, we're not just talking about. But 6 years. I'm talking about.
Oh, I wrote my name.
It's my factor. Witnesses are. That was March 21, which is 9 years. Okay. Whatever you need to do, just we can talk to the judge about it. He's on Zoom. I don't know. I turn it on, my sheet. Oh, right now, based on. In motion. Okay, here's that. Okay, well, yes, we can research. If she wants to give you a reset, that's. I understand. He's feigning ignorance. A lot of things that are right. Right. And then there's something there's something that the judicial notice and before there's a sponsor notice or whatever. So that was easy. Okay. The only person making you.
Judge, do you have the file for the interpreter?
What's the name of the person?
Could you say them that silence?
Especially
Because I don't have that. I only have Andrade and Robert Caroline.
Christian, Bardales.
So. Our. We're ready. Well. We're ready to. I'll burn them. Makes my easy. So that's the best. It's the same person. Oh, it's Sandy. Sandy. I was thinking it was Daniel.
Oh, if either.
It sounds like.
Mr. Hinojosa, you need to start your video. You want to call your client?
I called him on the telephone.
He's not answering
Oh,
me.
I'll do that right now.
Sure.
Excuse me.
I think it's his last name. This name, he used to. Oh, maybe she. This guy is. So these are 5 or 6 years.
I'm here, Your Honor.
All right, just give us a moment.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes. All right, who's the prosecutor on Tristan Inosa?
I am Judge.
All right, so Norma, what's the trial date for this? How long you all expect trial to last?
This is a motion for speedy trial, Judge.
Okay, let me see, I have a copy of the motion. All right, court is calling 2027 CR 9236. State of Texas versus Tristan Inosa. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Sam Locke for Mr. Inosa. Ready?
All right. All right, this is a motion to set aside the indictment based upon failure to afford and in violation of constitutional rights to a speedy trial. State? We'll wait till the alert goes off. Everyone, please check your alert on the phone. Yeah. I know people tend to ignore those, but please read it because usually it's an amber alert. All right. So state, have you had a chance to review the defense's motion?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm assuming you're in objection?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, defense?
Well, Your Honor, this case was called
Time out.
today.
All right, so I know some attorneys were not here, but whenever we're on the record, don't approach and don't talk behind the court reporter. All right, defense, you may proceed.
We appeared in December of last year, Your Honor, about a month ago, and given this date for a motion for speedy trial to be heard. You allowed Mr. Inosa to appear by Zoom, and he is present. I've conferred this morning with the state, and I'm not sure if the state is announcing ready on the motion or not ready.
All right, are you all ready on the motion?
Judge, we can be ready. We would like some more time if the court would indulge us. I talked to my investigator about getting some more information about when the warrant was attempted to be served on this case. I have an email from my investigator. He has not been able to access from whatever system he has. He can see the dates that service was attempted, but I don't have anything to show the court or defense counsel. This was the deputy that went out there and attempted service. And so I would like a little more time if the court is amenable to that, but I know that I am ready with argument if the court is not amenable to that.
Well, in order for me to make a ruling, I want to make sure that I have all of the information.
Yes, Your Honor.
So counsel, if you have no objection to continuing this, I know next week we're going to start a jury trial. So is the 22nd okay for you and your client?
May I consult my calendar, Your Honor?
And if you want to speak with your client. And I'm assuming there will be no objection to his client appearing by Zoom?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. Norma, is it possible to do this on the 22nd? No, it's just a motion.
Yeah.
And there may end up being maybe one witness.
I'm supposed to be in Bandera County in the morning, Your Honor.
All right.
That
If you want
may or
to,
May not go, but
no, if you want to pick a different date that week,
I'm sorry, Judge.
if you want to pick a different date that week. Any day but Wednesday or Friday. Or
I
if
can
you,
be here Tuesday, Judge, or 1:30 on Monday. Either one.
all right,
We have jury selection for criminal trial division
on the 22nd?
on the 22nd.
Would the 21st at 1:30, I'm sorry, I can be there the 23rd or the 22nd at 1:30, Judge.
All right, is that, I'm sorry, just one moment. Is that criminal trial division or family violence?
We checked for John, it's the defendant is John Meyer, that's with Mark Stevens.
Okay. And when is jury selection starting on that?
On the 22nd, which is a Monday.
All right. How long do you all expect this hearing to last?
10 minutes.
All right, so if you all can be here on the 22nd exactly at 9 a.m.
That's the day that I have to be in Bandera
Okay,
presently. I mean, that could change. They could call me next week and say,
all
no,
right, 23rd, 9 a.m. exactly at 9 a.m.
9 a.m. I'll be here, Judge, or before.
All right, and Mr. Hinojosa, are you able to be by Zoom at 9 a.m. on the 23rd?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
And then if you all would confer off docket, because maybe you're going to find something that changes his mind, or maybe he'll give you something that changes your mind.
Thank you, Judge.
So Norma, put this on the 23rd at 9 a.m.
And this is for a motion for speedy trial.
Yes, and they're telling me it should take 10 minutes. All right, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you all.
May I be excused?
Yes. And Mr. Hinojosa, you're excused, but you'll be back on the 23rd by Zoom.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. All right, Andrade.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We have changed.
I was gonna say, am I in bizarro world? What's going on?
No, we changed at the request of the deputies because it makes it easier for them.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, Mr. Andrade.
Judge, I was just appointed a few minutes ago and in conferring with the state and my client, he has the 3 cases pending, but apparently there are 3 at-large cases as well, to include a burglary, another violation of protective order, and what was the third one?
Those maybe
2 violations of protective order.
Okay.
The state doesn't have those files available. I'm going to reach out to the intake attorney, Victoria Fernandez, and ask if I can get some information about them. What I was going to request is maybe if we could be recalled for later in the week,
Okay.
just to kind of see where things are. My client has been requesting bond reductions, but as I explained to him, his bonds are only 10,000, 10,000, and 20,000, and he's a habitual offender, and so I don't anticipate any judge lowering those bonds. Currently, on top of that, it wouldn't make any sense to make the bonds if he has 3 potential new cases about to be indicted. So I think he understands at this point what I've explained to him.
All right. Norma, on this case, Because we're going to be in jury trial, correct?
This week?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then. If you can call them back, we can do it Friday at 9 a.m. But everybody needs to be here at 9 a.m. Yes.
And if I have news in the meantime, I'll come back and inform the board.
All right, so we'll recall Friday at 9.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, thank
Appreciate
you.
it, Judge.
You're welcome. Jared Pina. Good morning. Hi. You're on this side, counsel.
No.
All right, so where are we on the PTD?
We have a signed agreement.
Okay.
My understanding, I may be incorrect, but you just need to give us a reset date. I'm gonna turn this in the fourth,
Yes.
turn this in the fourth floor.
Yes.
They'll take it from there. Is
All right.
that correct?
Yes. So we'll bring you back on. We'll bring you back on February 8th. Because that's a month.
And how does this work? He comes,
Oh, he'll show up and what will end up happening, either his case will have been dismissed because he's followed through on everything, or either they will tell me he's not.
okay, but he needs to be here for sure.
Yes, unless his case is dismissed.
Understood.
Yes. All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Jared Pena, they're coming back on February 8th. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a seat, sir. You'll take it to your.
All right.
And that's for a PTD. You know how long Herman's gonna be on? Oh. Oh. And so, what's the other person's name? All right, let me email her.
She's in the back row of the boardroom here.
It would
She's on.
probably be better.
Okay. I will email. We'll see if it's better coming from me.
Suppose, I mean.
Hey, Judge.
Mhm.
Can we approach sort of off the record?
Yes, just give me one moment. Yeah, I don't know why that happened. All right, thanks. Bye-bye. All right, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do waive, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Your Honor, we're proceeding on the lesser included offense of an assault bodily injury.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Ms. Chapman, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, married cohabitation as a Class A misdemeanor? Range of punishment is anywhere from a year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
You need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am. I did.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
She does.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Do you?
Ms. Chapman, has anyone forced you or coerced you or placed you in fear to enter this plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, married, or cohabitation. Punishment is to be assessed at 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. State is recommending community supervision. They're taking in consideration 2023 CR 8932. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as a primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yes.
Defense?
Yes,
Is
Your
that the plea? State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, I did.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, state is requesting your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be no harmful or injurious contact with Timothy Amaya. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the lesser included offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State offers states one and all attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, I did.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. State, have you had contact with the complainant?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, court will review states exhibits 1 and attachments for sufficiency. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor. We'd have to wait.
Anything?
Yes, sir.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we've negotiated this plea bargain. My client's here before the court accepting responsibility and pled no contest. Your Honor, my client has accepted responsibility. We're asking that you follow the plea bargain today. She and the complainant do have children together. We're asking that you honor the no harmful or injurious contact so that they can co-parent. Your Honor, but with that, we'd ask that you follow the agreement, Judge. My client also is on the GPS monitor. I was appointed last month on this case, and we're asking that you also remove that as a condition of bond now that she's on probation.
All right. How many children do you have?
5.
What are their ages?
One's 20, 18, 5, 7, and 9.
All right. And are the children with your husband?
They're with me and my oldest son. We just got an apartment, so
So you're living with your older son with the children?
yes.
And is the complainant in this case the father of any of the children?
Oh, I'm sorry, say that again.
Is the complainant in this case the father of any of the children?
Yes.
I mean, were you there, counsel?
No, Judge, we conferred in the hallway.
Okay.
She didn't understand the question.
Yeah.
All right. So which children is he the father? Is it the 5, 7, 9-year-old?
He's the father to all of them. All 4 of the 4 youngest ones. He's the biological father.
All
My
right.
oldest, he's not the biological father, but he has raised him since he was 8 months. So that technically is his dad.
All right. And if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And you are going to get drug tested today.
Okay.
All right, let's do a drug test and then I'll come back and make a decision. All right?
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes, just give me one moment. Before you approach with that, let me see, who's here with the interpreter? Let me take up the case with the interpreter first.
Yeah.
Who is the defendant? What's the name?
Is it Bardales, Christian Bardales Bonilla?
All right, can I see, are you all ready to proceed on that?
We're ready, Judge.
Can I see that file, please?
Is there anything?
Oh, are you all ready on Portales or no? All right, they're not ready. Okay. Thank you. Sorry. Mark Costa. All right, and yes. Yes, I do. All right, Mr. Costa, you were late for court. Why?
I didn't think I was late. I guess I was, but
No, I mean, 9 o'clock is the start time. So if you're not in the courtroom at 9, you're late. So again, why were you late?
sorry, ma'am, I was anticipating that long line at the entrance, and then also I couldn't find my card and I was trying to pay for parking.
Okay, so I walked in the courthouse and there was not a long line. So here's the thing. If I'm on time, you should be on time. And I will tell you what people would always tell me when I was a defense attorney. I would always want to be on time. But you know what they would tell me? They're like, Stephanie, you don't need to be on time. Your client needs to be on time. And then as judge, when I'm always running to be in the courthouse so I can be on time, you know what people tell me? Judge, you don't have to be on time. And I'm like, yes, I do, because I don't want people to do what I myself would not do. So if I plan in my day to battle through traffic, to consider the line and all of that, then you need to plan for that. Because guess what? If you're not on time, you know what ends up happening? Your attorney's going home, but you may not. You may end up having a warrant issued for your arrest. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, where are we on this case?
Your Honor, it's a first setting. We received an offer. We're just asking for some time to talk about the offer and the case.
All right, Ms. Ferguson on Costa, can I have a 45-day reset, please? And Mr. Seeloff, the person from Veterans Treatment Court, they're on their way over.
Well, they are on their way over.
Yes,
So I'll wait, I guess.
yes, yes, thank you. All right, February 29th. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who's here on Aiden Garcia?
I'm here, Your Honor.
What is happening with this case and where is Aiden Garcia?
Approach.
Yes.
He was recently deported and he is in Mexico. I notified the DA that he will not be here today.
All right. So unless I get information that he's in Mexico, we're gonna have a hearing on whether or not he should continue to be on bond. All right. Court is calling 2019 CR 11707, State of Texas versus Aiden Garcia. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins, State Your Honor.
Defense?
I'm El Dape for Aiden Garcia.
Okay. All right, off the record for a moment. So on the case that's in the motion to revoke the cruelty to non-livestock animal, has that case been indicted or no?
It is not yet, Judge. I did have the officer here. I just cut him loose because, I conferred with defense. But I was gonna have the officer here available to testify.
All right, we're back on the record. This hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:57 a.m. Defense, where is your client?
Your Honor, my client is not a citizen. He was recently caught by immigration authorities and was deported. As of last night, he's in Nuevo León, Mexico.
All right, Deputy Lord, did you make an announcement?
Oh, you can just bring him in. Oh, okay, yeah, I can just drop it for you. Drop it in there. I just have maybe with him.
You want to download and give it back here?
Your Honor, he is not out there.
All right, state.
Your Honor, state asked for a bond forfeiture.
That'll be granted. Your client will be remanded without bond. If you bring documentation that proves that he has been deported, of course, the court will reconsider. Because deportation would be outside of his control. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
That's all we have, my big excuse.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bashan, on Aiden Garcia, that's a bond forfeiture. They tell me he's been deported. Okay. All right, Christian Bardales Bonilla. Can I have parties announced for the record? For the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state.
Defense?
Albert Chidas for Mr. Bonilla.
And are you Mr. Bonilla?
Yes.
All right, and we have an interpreter present. If you could raise your hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear and affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Norma Nero.
All right. And Mr. Bonilla, all of the documentation that I'm going to be reviewing with you is in Spanish. I'm sorry, is in English. Has that documentation been reviewed with you in Spanish?
Yes.
And counsel, are you fluent in Spanish?
I am, Your Honor.
And were you able to explain these documents to your client in Spanish?
I was, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case?
I
And
have.
did you review it with your client?
I have and I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Bonilla, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes.
Did you review the document with your attorney entitled True Bill of Indictment? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did understand it.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are.
Mr. Bonilla, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney. Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of evading arrest detention with the vehicle? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Sí.
Yes.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Sí.
Yes, I do understand.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Sí.
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Sí.
Yes, I do understand.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
He was and he is.
Mr. Bonilla, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea? All right, excuse me. There's no approaching while we're on the record. All right, we're back on the record.
No.
No, nobody.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Sí.
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
No.
No.
Counsel, have you advised your client of the impact this plea will have on his immigration status?
I have, Your Honor. My client is a Honduran citizen. He is not a U.S. citizen. He does not have any kind of status in this country at this time. I did explain to him that even deferred adjudication will be considered a guilty plea for federal purposes, and it can impact his ability to stay in the country, come back to the country if he leaves the country, and if he applies for residency or citizenship, it will have an impact on his application.
All right. And counsel, do you feel satisfied with your background in immigration law to inform him whether or not he's going to be deported or not?
I did check to see if there's an ICE hold. It looks like there's not, although it's possible there is. I explained to him that for immigration purposes, this is going to be a felony conviction. And so because he's undocumented, even if he hadn't committed an offense, he's subject to removal. But because he did allegedly commit an offense, they'll treat it as a conviction and it'll impact his ability to stay in the country. So they would seek removal proceedings against him if they know he's in the country.
All right. Mr. Bonilla, do you understand by entering a plea in this case that will have an impact on your immigration status here?
Yes, I do understand.
All right. Do you understand that based upon your plea in this case, you may be deported, excluded from the United States, and not allowed re-entry into the United States?
Yes.
All right. Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes.
According to the plea bargain agreement, there's to be a $1,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense is at the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State is at the plea?
Yes, sir.
Did you review the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places? Yes. Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Yes. Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There have not.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 120 hours community service restitution. Did you understand? Those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations. Yes, I do understand. Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? No contest. Any evidence?
Your Honor, I offer State Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Yes. Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Yes. Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there would be no live testimony? Did you understand? Yes. Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, if we can go off the record. All right, so in the police report, oh, you can keep it on, that's fine. In the police report, it's listed as S1. Well, I'm sorry, in the police report, it's listed as AP1. But in identifying parties, they're not listed as AP. So unless there's something else submitted, I don't know who AP is.
Let me see if I can get the prosecution guide off the embarrassing judge.
All right, sure. So
I don't know
once,
if there's a difference between SP1 and AP1.
yes. All right, so once I have that, then we'll continue.
Want to see that?
Yes. Hoel Castillo. And probation, this is an application. Court is calling 2023 CR 9687, State of Texas versus Hoel Castillo. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Gearhead, Your Honor.
Defense.
Jessica Joyner.
All right, and are you Mr. Castillo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
We have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Is there an application on this case? I don't have one in the file.
Let me get one for you, Judge, and we'll read it.
All right, it's right over there.
Yes.
Is this going to be an application for regular probation?
May I approach, Judge?
Yes.
Can put that file here.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Application for Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
With regards, I have before me a motion to substitute counsel, Bobby Leahy.
He's with my firm, Judge.
All right. Are you all asking me to grant this motion?
Yes.
All right, that will be granted. And Mr. Castillo, the attorney who's here today, that's the attorney you wish to represent you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? Mr. Castillo, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with driving while intoxicated, third or more? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Castillo, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Very satisfied, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. And off the record for a moment, did you do a trial court certification?
Probably not, Judge.
It's Monday.
It is.
But you know what? You put a smile on your face and realize that you're not retired and you just keep going, keep pushing forward.
There's nothing else I'm missing, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, good.
I'll know once I go through the paperwork. Just give me one moment because we're on the record. And Mr. Seeloff, if you could, you may want to confer with the state about the Veterans Treatment Court. And then after I finish this plea, I'll take your case up.
The state is right before you.
All right.
May I approach?
Yes. You're welcome. All right. Did you review we're back on the record. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 4 years in the prison, There's a $500 fine. State recommends community supervision. The DWI intervention course, VIP, driver's safety course, 2-year driver's license suspension, and ignition interlock for half the term. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
That is, Judge, and we have 2 issues we wanted to discuss with you prior to completing the plea.
All right, state, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, there been any such motions?
No.
Outside the agreement, state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 4 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 180 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yeah.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State Exhibit number 1 with all this attachment.
Any objections? All right, state, you may be excused to continue to confer. Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
There's just a couple things I want to bring up with regard to the plea bargain. Is this the appropriate time to do it?
Yes.
Okay. One is that my client has a funeral to attend between Tuesday and Thursday of this week.
Yes, ma'am.
And so he and his family intended to travel to Brownsville, and his sister was going to be the driver. So currently he has ignition interlock installed on his vehicle in which he's required to blow twice a day. So I'm asking for the court's permission for him to travel without his vehicle between Tuesday and Thursday to go to his grandmother's.
Grandmother's.
Father's
mom.
Okay. And next issue, or is that the only issue?
No, there's a couple other ones.
Okay.
The other one is that if there's 10 years jail as a condition of probation, I'd ask that he be able to use an ankle monitor instead and travel to and from work, between work and home. And then I'd like to ask the court to probate the $500 fine.
All right. And when is this Brownsville?
Excuse me?
Brownsville, when is that?
When?
When?
So the service is gonna be on Wednesday, but we plan to leave on Tuesday and come back on Thursday.
All right, state, do you have any objection to them driving a different vehicle and not his vehicle to Brownsville? He's saying that he will not be driving, that it will be the sister.
Judge, I think it's just whether the courts are comfortable with it. I'm not opposed to it, but I'd like to, if he is gonna do that, I'd like an affidavit of non-driving to be filed with the court.
Okay. So here's my question. Why can't your sister drive your vehicle?
I mean, right now it's not really that dependable. I have to have it towed with the interlock frequently. So it's kind of not safe to start up we'll make it not turn on when it turns off.
All right, probation, any suggestions? Everyone, please whisper.
Saying that the part is inoperable.
Well, I mean, it turns on and off. I took it to the service center and it says it's the starter. I've been able to turn it on frequently, but there's moments when it won't turn back on.
So let me ask you this, is it possible to have him get a portable for while he's,
No, Judge, that will just incur like while he's gone to Bronzeville, no, that will be like way too much money. We could do a drug patch while he's gone.
okay.
But the car situation is, I do have a couple more questions.
Yes.
So do you drive any other vehicle?
I've been getting rides.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
All right, so just one second. Everyone. We're still on the record. So if you all will talk not in front of the inmate box. All right. Yes.
Okay, so you've been getting rides everywhere?
Well, just to work and home. I mean, that's all I can do right now.
But you're still blowing into your.
Yes, I mean, as regards to turning on and if I have to from the pre-trial probation, I've been doing it twice a day.
All right. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ask for an affidavit of non-driving. We're gonna do 30 days GPS, partial for work in lieu of the 10 days in the Bexar County Jail. There's a $500 fine that will be probated. Sentence you to 4 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 4 years. Proof of employment within 30 days. What do you do?
I'm a process assistant for Amazon.
All right. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
180 hours of community service restitution. If you wish, you can buy those out at $7.25 per hour. I recommend the San Antonio Food Bank, but I just do that because there's usually a shortage. But if there's another charity you wish to donate to, you can.
Yes, ma'am.
But not the Human Fund.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Not the
The Human Fund. You don't watch, you've never seen Seinfeld. It's a made-up charity. So there's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular UAs. Defendant is allowed to travel to Brownsville with a patch, and only if you've done an affidavit of non-driving. So if that affidavit of non-driving is not in, you cannot attend. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that is to be Tuesday.
Yes.
Leaving tomorrow.
We'll be planning to leave in the afternoon and then speak for the sheriff for Wednesday.
All right, so that's Tuesday, January 9th through, you're coming back on Thursday?
Yes.
So I'll do it from Tuesday to Friday.
Would I need a report if I get here earlier, just for work purposes?
Oh, if you come back earlier, just call probation and let them know.
Okay.
So that's the 9th through the 12th. And that's because you never know what happens at funerals, but you're anticipating being back on Thursday. So if you're back on Thursday, then you're back on Thursday. But sometimes I've discovered that funerals turn into family reunions, really.
Thank you.
All right, so that'll be Tuesday through Friday, no driving, and he's to have a patch. I'm gonna want field visits 1 time per month for 3 months. And then thereafter at probation's discretion. Do a TAP evaluation, follow results. I personally think he's gonna need intensive outpatient treatment. So if they ask for inpatient treatment, we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment. If they ask for outpatient treatment or sober support, I still want intensive outpatient treatment. And there's going to be 90 sober meetings in 90 days. The only exception to those 90 and 90 is if he's in Brownsville and something's up where he can't do those for those 4 or 3 days. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
Your Honor, did you mention the DWI?
Oh, I am so sorry. That is so true. I was focused on Brownsville. All right, there's to be the DWI intervention course, VIP Live. There is to be the driver's safety course, 2-year driver's license suspension, ignition interlock for half the term. Anything else, probation?
No, Judge.
All right, anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No,
Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. I seen your past. There's some DWIs, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You are probably a person who cannot drink alcohol at all. I don't drink alcohol. I think it tastes nasty. That's just me. And I never acquired a taste for it. People would tell me, I know it doesn't taste good now, but acquire a taste for it. And I'm like, why would I do that? But okay, I still think it doesn't taste good. So I don't drink. Some people do. What you've got to realize is when people leave their home or leave a restaurant or a party and they've been drinking, they never have an intention on going out and killing somebody. But you know what ends up happening? Usually there's an accident, and the person who's intoxicated, they come to court, they're crying, they're devastated. And guess what? The person who wasn't drunk, the soccer mom or whoever it is, they either have major injuries that they'll never get over, or you end up killing somebody. Do not be that person. You cannot drink alcohol at all. And while you're on probation, you can't drink alcohol. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And if there's something that you need, you feel like probation is not addressing that issue, you can come back to court. All right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And see, do a referral. We're going to do a referral to felony drug court. Just see if they'll accept him. Felony drug court would probably be what's best for you. Okay? Can I have that file back, please? Yes.
The state's in agreement. Leave it with you, judge, and you want me to-
Oh, you may be seated. Probation is going to go over petitions with you. We're going to take care of that right now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes. All right. Robert Caroline, come forward, please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Caroline, come forward.
Mr. Garrahan.
All right, Mr. Caroline, the reason why I called Veterans Treatment Court to come down is because you're a veteran and they may be able to help you. I'm sure they would, better than I'm able to help you. Thank you so much for answering the bat signal and coming down quickly.
Yes, Judge Boyd.
All right, so he's entered a plea to count 1 and count 2, but when I was reading in the police report, it appears that he's homeless. We have a lot of homeless veterans in, what is this, Military USA?
Yes, Your
So I know that in order to be with Veterans Treatment Court, it's pretrial diversion, or either he's on probation.
On probation.
So
Honor.
what do we need to do here?
So after we receive the referral, I'll need to collect his DD 214. He'll need to write a letter of interest, and then it'll just be a matter of scheduling him for an actual assessment with one of our VJOs. Right now with the wait list, Judge, we're looking at about a couple of weeks.
All right. So I've already found him guilty of count 1 and count 2. What we'll do is we'll reset this for us to get an update from Veterans Treatment Court. So, Mr. Caroline, I know you were probably hoping to be out, but I see that you're homeless. So what we're going to do is we're going to recall this in 2 weeks. At that time, I'll make my ruling on your sentence. So hopefully Veterans Treatment Court will have you in their program, and it'll be a seamless transition for you to have housing and all of that. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, Norman, can we recall it back for the week of the 22nd? Would that give you enough time?
Till when, I'm sorry, when, Judge?
The week of January 22nd.
Yeah, we can make it happen.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can we come back maybe on the 25th or so? All right, so,
25th, at what time? 9?
so we'll be back on January 25th at 9 a.m. All right, make sure you have that letter prepared for them because they want you to write a letter and I'm sure she's told you about what the letter should be.
I can elaborate a little bit more for him.
Okay. And he may not have access to pen and paper at the jail.
You'll be at.
Right, right.
I'll be working on that.
Yes.
Whatever I need to.
All right. Is there anything else? All right. Thank you, Mr. Caroline.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
You're welcome.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you.
So I'm, if a family member could do it, even better, but if not, just so that you
Yes. Okay.
Judge, can I approach with an agreed order?
Just a second. I'm going in order of the cases that I've received. So if you want to hand it to the courts, we'll get it to the courts. All right. The other person is Chapman. Who's here on Chapman? And are you already on Bonilla too? I'm sorry, what's happening with Bonilla?
There is a sheet that describes him as the arrested person.
Yes.
And there's a key at the bottom is describing the.
All right. Counsel,
Yes, Rob.
let me take this up first because we have the interpreter and I'll take you right next. We're back on the record in 2023 CR 10851, State of Texas versus Christian Bonilla. Can I have the parties announce again for the record, please? State,
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
defense.
Albert Titus for Mr. Bonilla.
All right. State, do you have more evidence to present?
We do, Your Honor. I'd like to supplement State's Exhibit 1 with a sheet that I've showed to defense counsel. That sheet identifies the arrested person as Christian Bardales Bonilla. And then in the notes, it says he refers to the defendant as AP.
All right, any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, then then the court will accept state supplemental evidence for the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. And the court will add it to that document. After reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments with the supplement, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We'd like to, Judge, if we can.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Only that he's ready to do probation. And he would like to see if he can get early termination.
All right, Mr. Bonilla, I saw that you were traveling in the car with a relative. Do you have any children?
Yes, I do.
How many and what are their ages?
Tengo dos. Uno tiene 5 años, el otro 7. I have 2. One is 5 and the other one 7.
All right, and do they live with you?
No.
All right. When's the last time you were employed and what were you doing?
Trabajé un día antes del 4 de septiembre porque era día festivo. No lo
I
trabajaba.
worked before September 4th because it was a holiday,
Y trabajo la plomería.
and I work in plumbing.
All right. This is what the court will do. The court will sentence you to 2 years deferred adjudication. There's a $1,500 fine to be probated. Proof of employment within 45 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. 120 hours of community service restitution. Court will order parenting classes. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. No illegal entry into the United States. Regular UAs. Probation, is there anything else? All right, I'll throw in a driver safety course. We can do field visits one time per month for 3 months. But we'll see if he's still here. All right, Mr. Bonilla, is there anything else you need from the court?
No, solamente.
No, that's it.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Sí.
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. Do not come back to the United States unless you are here legally. Do you understand?
Gracias.
If you come back to the United States and you're not here legally, that's a violation of your probation. And you will be looking at potentially 10 years in the prison. Do you understand?
Sí, sí.
All
Yes,
right,
I do
thank you.
understand.
Thank you.
Maybe excuse me.
Yes, we're back on the record in Britney Chapman, 2023 CR 8897. All right. And my understanding, you tested negative?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're still under oath. So what have you been doing to maintain your sobriety?
Well, drugs were never an issue, really, honestly, for me, so.
Oh, well, so you and your husband are just getting into arguments because he says in the police report that you have a meth problem.
He's a liar.
Oh, well, then you all do not need to be together. So there's no reason for them to see each other or be together because she's saying he is not telling the truth about her drug use.
They don't currently reside together, Your Honor, but they do probably need to co-parent the children, but
There's to be no contact, so you'll have to co-parent through someone else.
For my son, probably.
that's fine, Your Honor.
All right. Is Child Protective Services involved?
They were at the beginning. Case was closed. I went out to Guardian Angels and did classes on my own. They asked me to do psychology test, and I did all that when this first case started. So all I have to do is go back and get all the paperwork or however.
All right. And what is her criminal history?
Your Honor. It's not extensive, Your Honor. You just, one moment, Your Honor, I can pull that up very quickly.
Your Honor, she referenced me that she's never been in trouble but for this, just before the court today, but I'll let him confirm that.
Yeah, previously, she had 3 cases in Bear County, Your Honor, but they were all closed. I don't believe there was any adjudication of it.
All right. So you all proceeding with a conviction?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So there'll be 1 year in the Bear County Jail, suspended and probated for 2 years. Take in consideration 2023 CR 8932. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be 80 hours of community service restitution. When did you complete the parenting classes? Did you ever do parenting classes?
No, because I wanted to get the children with me and have them, but there was no communication between me and their father, so I had to have his permission as well.
All right, I'm gonna ask for parenting classes. There's to be, once you complete the parenting classes, the community service hours will be deemed to be satisfied. There's to be no contact with Timothy Amaya. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to want a TAP evaluation, follow our TAP recommendations. If TAP recommends inpatient treatment, we'll start with sober outpatient treatment, sober support. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs, or either she can do the patch. There's to be the BIPP course, field visits, one time per month for 3 months. And then at probation's discretion. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, that I can think of right now.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. If anything comes up and you feel as though probation is not addressing it, you can always come back to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am. You too.
Gotta remove
Okay.
excuse, Jessica.
Yes.
Thank you. Have a good
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Renee Presidio. Renee Presidio. Matthew Castro.
Presidio?
Yes.
Presidio.
Are you all ready?
We're still conferring, Your Honor.
All right, they're not ready. These are down. They're not ready on that one. All right, everyone, the court is going on break at noon. Have you conferred? Do you have your file?
The file should be up there before you. They told me they put it up there. Sebastian Delgado.
I don't have that.
He's not present.
All right, as soon as they pull the file and give it to me, I'll take it up.
And the other may I approach as well. I have to do a habeas corpus motion.
As soon as they pull the file and place it up here, I will call you up. All right, so I'll call you up.
Okay,
Your appearance.
yes, Your Honor. I just didn't know if it was up there. I've been here for an hour already.
All right.
She has your file.
Okay.
Can you put my file up there? It's not up there. She says it's not up there.
The only file I have up here is Matthew Castro. That's the only one. Renee Presidio, why do I keep getting this back?
He wants to approach Preciado. He doesn't want to take the place.
All right, Renee Presidio. Are we ready on this or no?
We're trying to negotiate here. I don't think my client is inclined to.
All right, I'll bring you all back at 1:30.
That's fine.
All right,
Okay.
this is coming
Thank
back
you.
at 1:30. Deputies Presidio is coming back at 1:30.
We had handed.
Jared
a motion
Pina.
For habeas corpus earlier, but it's not, judge says not there.
Jared Pina.
She says it's not bad, so.
Okay, this is done.
Hi, Your Honor.
Camillus Galvan.
No, it's Sebastian Delgado.
Who's your client?
I had Jamie guy in Australia.
All right, just give me a second and I'll get you.
It's just you know what, if you don't have a file, don't even worry about it. Yes.
All right.
Go on.
Galvan,
Yes, sir.
yes. So where are we on this case?
Judge, we're set today for a plea offer and we did get a plea offer.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson on Galvan, I need a 30-day reset for our plea deadline date.
We can do February 8th.
All right, February 8th will be your plea deadline date. On that date, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you.
No, I. My phone. I was just wondering if you moved it around. No, no.
Abel Martinez. Abel Martinez.
He's downstairs, Your Honor. He's still
Okay.
downstairs.
All right, 1:30. Jasmine Gallegos.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Yes. Where is she?
She's been in custody, Your Honor. She's been in custody for about 94 days, Your Honor.
No, I mean, is she here?
No, she's not on your docket, Your Honor.
All
She's in custody. So that's why it's a habeas corpus motion, Your Honor. State has not indicted her. It's been over 94 days. So we're asking for a PR bond. She can get released.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, she needs to be on the docket.
Right, well, I told him that I can refer it down to Judge Nahara, but he wanted it signed today because.
But no, she needs to be brought over.
Your Honor, she's entitled to it to 1751. It's over the
All
90
right,
days.
is she entitled to be here? I don't know why people keep doing bond motions and applications requesting a PR bond. I don't know anything about your client to set, conditions on the PR bond. So she needs to be brought over because she's in custody. So once she's brought over, then I will hear this motion.
But Your Honor,
And if she's entitled, how am I supposed to set conditions for her to have a PR bond? I mean, am I the only person who understands the rules, the new rules that the legislature had put in place? I can't just say, oh, here's a PR bond, waive fees, ta-da, you're done. I don't know if you have any mental health issues, you're done. Good luck if you happen to commit suicide and that comes back on me. I don't know why people don't understand that. So whether or not it's 94 days or whatever, just talk to the coordinator and have her brought over. Am I asking for too much out of life?
I believe so, Your Honor. I believe she's entitled to be released today.
Let me ask you this. What if I give her a PR bond and I don't put any conditions and she goes out and commits suicide and she has mental health issues? Who does that come back on it? Does it come back on you? Or do people go out before the media and say, oh my gosh, Judge Boyd released somebody who has mental health issues. Oh my gosh, Judge Boyd insurance is not covered by that. So let's sue her for the $1 million that she doesn't have. So no, she needs to be brought over. I don't know what people don't understand.
Can I be brought over tomorrow, Your Honor?
No, just talk to the coordinator. She'll say it. Maybe you could see if they can have her brought over today. Matthew Castro.
I think we're waiting on the defense attorney for that one, Judge.
All right, that'll come back at 1:30. Joshua Espinosa. Oh, who's here for, yes, 1:30. All right, on Espinosa, there's no certification of appeal.
Okay, that sounds great.
And is this for sentencing?
It is, it's not, Your Honor.
Okay. Court is calling 2023 CR 5393, State of Texas versus Joshua Espinosa. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Deerhan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Brandon Lopez for Mr. Espinosa.
And are you Mr. Espinosa?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You are here for sentencing. You entered a plea of no contest on September 22nd. I'm sorry, September 26th to the offense of robbery. The enhancement was waived. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And now we are here for a TAP evaluation. I'm sorry, and now we're here for sentencing. A TAP evaluation was completed. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report and TAP evaluation? State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the TAP evaluation?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report?
No, Your Honor.
All right, state, according to the plea bargain agreement, the state is silent on your application. Punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
We don't, Your Honor. This argument.
Anything you wish you want to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. I've represented Mr. Espinosa for quite some time now. I've gotten to know his family. Mr. Espinosa, we did make sure to do some mental health evaluations in this case and and specifically looking into his PTSD from the past and those issues. He is suffering from those issues. He has various run-ins with the law, a former trip to the penitentiary. He does suffer from bipolar, from PTSD, from anxiety issues. I believe the recommendation, the PSI, or one of the recommendations was that he'd be a good candidate for DDRF. I spoke with my client about that. She would be open to doing DDRF if the court were to grant probation. Otherwise, he's just asking for an opportunity to prove to the court that he's capable of living outside in society and being a productive citizen.
All right, so part of my concerns is his criminal history.
Yes, Your Honor.
And he has a previous aggravated robbery and a previous assault case. And he's been on probation before, and his probation was extended. I just don't think he's a good candidate for probation. I tell you what, let's do this. I don't think he's a good candidate for probation. I do understand that there are mental health issues, and for them to say that they want DDRF tells me something. It tells me that his mental health is such a state that they want him to be in inpatient. So let's do this. We're gonna come back at 1:30 and I'll make a decision then.
Okay.
All right, so we'll come back at 1:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, everyone, we're gonna go on recess.
Yeah.
And we're gonna come